Hello gamers, today is a interesting video. After playing Underground 1, a game I remember very fondly and held up to what I expected, I decided I would check out Underground 2, a game that came out a year after the original FUG. But I didn't even know this thing existed till I started making the video for FUG 1. As when I was looking up videos of gameplay on YouTube for FUG 1, I randomly got a video in my recommended for a review of FUG 2, and after watching the video for about 5 seconds, I closed out of it and decided to download the game. I was even going to add a little segment in the script of the original video about how I plan on playing FUG 2. However, I did decide to leave it out because if I set a schedule, I will never stay to it. For whatever reason, I'm just sort of weird like that. And also, after watching more and more gameplay for the game, I thought it looked a bit cartoonish and perhaps something that I may have not enjoyed as much as FUG 1. Now, however, it's time to talk about that uncomfortable truth that the game didn't really live up to FUG 1, to the point where I didn't enjoy it so much that I didn't even complete the game, which was a very jarring experience for me, coming from how much I enjoyed Underground 1 to borderline despising Underground 2. And I am aware of some of the reasons why I didn't enjoy the game, at least from what I could figure out, so I thought I would comment on those real quickly. Let's just add, these are my opinions. Everyone has opinions. My opinions could be wrong to your opinions, and my opinions could just be wrong straight out. Who knows? But anyways, as I mentioned at the start of the video, this game has more cartoony graphics than Underground 1. And for whatever reason, the look of the game just didn't jive with me. It's also not just that the art style choice was odd, but there are certain things that just seemed weird. The best example I can think of this is when you first get to take control of your custom skater in the underground skate park, where there is a model of the character Eric skating, and it just looks so much worse than it would have in FUG 1, at least to me. It seems like he's 2D, or like a bit of paper instead of a real person, which can work in some art styles, but it just looks out of place in this game. Now, if you couldn't tell from most of the games I play on this channel, I'm a massive fan of storytelling and narrative-driven video games. Thus, the main reason why I was drawn to FUG 2. Sorry, FUG 1. A little bit of a slip there. And this game does have a story, unlike the pro skaters in the series. However, I found it a lot less gripping than the last game. And I feel you can tell that the story was a lot less serious straight out the bat when you fly headfirst into a van. And then right after that scene, they turned the cocky, self-confident, arrogant villain of Eric into a pants-wetting annoyance.
You ever think the last word you're gonna hear would be? Hello, butt nuggets.
Real funny, guys. Is this? What's happening, fellas? In case you're wondering why Bam and I invited you here tonight, let us enlighten you.
World Destruction Tour. Around the world sick as hell skating competition that Tony and I threw together and you jagoffs are gonna compete in. We're stacking up points for some balls to the wall skating.
And some ridiculous stunts and challenges.
Like that. 50 points if you get someone to hose their pants.
Come on, that's sweat. Pants.
Woo! And 20 bonus points if you think there's luggage in the trunk.
Basically destroying his character with only small glimpses of the person he once was. And the main character, the red-headed Irish woman I called Trinity, also doesn't seem to line up with where we left off at the last game. She goes from someone who wants to start her own skate team just to be able to skate for happiness and not money or anything like that, to someone who is now a part of a world destruction tour. The humor of this game also seems a lot more childish, with a lot more pee, poop and loogie jokes. And that is just what some people love about this game. However, unfortunately, it is not really the type of humor I have ever really enjoyed. I feel this game was more of a Jackass game than a Tony Hawk game, which is what I'm pretty sure the devs were going for due to the popularity of one Bam, and a person I quite frankly knew nothing about until a couple months ago when a bunch of YouTube videos on his fall, or his downfall, came up on my feed. But as it turns out, he was one of the most popular members of the Jackass crew at one point, being the only one on the TV show to get a spin-off show called Viva La Bam, which did pretty well in the ratings for most of it. So maybe if I grew up as a massive fan of Bam or Jackass, the style of this game would have been more appealing to me. However, I was more of a Nitro Circus kid than a Jackass kid. Also, it's kind of odd playing this game now, when I only know Bam for his current state, where he is addicted to a large amount of semi-illegal substances. But hopefully for him, he'll be able to get his life back on track. However, as of making this, it does not look like it's going well, as Bam has lost a bid to get joint custody of his son and has been arrested for public intoxication and disorderly conduct. But maybe if he goes to jail, that will allow him to turn his life around and get clean. That, however, was a little bit of a side tangent, as to be honest, I really don't have much to add or talk about when it comes to Tony Hawk's Underground 2. Apart from obviously the fact that I saw this game as a massive letdown and disappointment from Fug 1. But that was just me. As I said, lots of people actually thought Fug 2 was the best game in the series. However, I did not complete it, and to be honest, I probably never will.